and welcome to this Spring Equinox Yoga. Spring is a time when we're coming out of winter, our bodies are wanting to shed that winter sluggishness, the winter pounds. It's a natural time of detox. Everything in nature is beginning to bloom around us, as are we. This yoga practice is going to focus on detoxifying. There'll be lots of twists to really help with the digestive system, as well as focusing on the outer thighs and inner thighs, our gallbladder and liver meridians. Our gallbladder and liver have been very busy over the winter months, processing all the carbs we've been eating, detoxifying all the alcohol we may have been drinking during the Christmas period. For this practice, I'm using 2 blocks. You don't necessarily need 2 blocks, only if you want to create more space. We are going to be doing breath of fire, frontal cleansing breath, Kapalbhati, in the beginning. I'm just going to take this moment to explain how that works. You take an inhale, and then on the exhale you do forced little exhalations. I just managed 15, you may only manage 10. You just do as many as you can, don't strain, and then you take a normal breath cycle. And then inhale, and as you force that breath out, you'll feel your belly going up and in. And then a normal breath cycle. And that's a cleansing breath just to help our bodies with the detoxification. So if you're ready, grab your mat and let's begin.
Let's begin in Sukhasana, cross-legged, or kneeling if you find that more comfortable. Drawing up through the centre channel. Hands can be face down or palms up on the thighs, whatever is comfortable. And come into the breath. Find your breath. We will be doing Kapalbhati, frontal cleansing breath, in a moment. Let's just notice our normal breath first. Take a deep breath in, and then on your exhale, short, sharp exhalations. And then a normal breath cycle, followed by a deep breath in, and on that exhale, short, sharp exhalations, forcing the air out with a passive recoil. Deep breath in, and let's do it again. Normal breath cycle. Inhale. And short, sharp breaths. As many as you can do, don't force it. Full breath cycle, in and out. Then a deep inhale, and again. Short exhalations, forcing that belly up and in. And now let's let the breathing return to normal. A lovely Shatkama, lovely cleansing breath before our asana practice. Let's transition into a wide-legged child's pose. Big toes together, knees as wide as the mat. And bring your forehead down either onto a block or onto the mat. And let your buttocks sink back towards your heels. Breathing here. Inhale. On your exhale, navel in, rise up, all fours. Knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders, pushing away from the yoga mat that which is touching the yoga mat. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, cow. Then exhale, curling from the tailbone, cat. Inhale, cow. Lovely arch in the lower back, the lumbar spine. Exhale, rounding up through those shoulder blades, chin comes to the chest, cat. One more, inhale, look up, arching the lumbar spine. Exhale, curling from the tailbone. Lovely cat stretch. Inhale, come back to neutral. I'm using a block. Inhale, right arm up, and then thread it behind the left arm. So thread the needle, and the right ear can either come to the mat or to a block. Keep the navel engaged, breathing here. A lovely stretch for the upper right shoulder, upper right arm, thoracic spine. Inhale, exhale, navel in, rise back up. Reset, and then the left arm opens out and threads behind the right arm, coming onto the left ear. Hips stay over the knees, navel stays engaged. Thread the needle on the other side. Breathing here. On an inhale, rise back up, keeping that navel into the spine. Come back to tabletop. Curl the toes and bring your buttocks back to your heels. Move the little toe out if it's getting squashed. A toe squat. Take this opportunity to rotate the wrists a bit. Rise up if you're finding it's a bit much on the toes. And then step the left foot forward into our low lunge. Make sure the knee is over the ankle. I'm using 2 blocks here. You can to create space, or your hands can be flat to the mat. Squeezing everything into the midline. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Palms together. On an exhale, bring the right elbow outside of the left knee. Curl the back toes, float the back knee up, and if you're steady, let the gaze come over your shoulder. Breathing here. Exhale, look down, untwist, lower the back knee, push back through that front heel, return to kneeling, hands to the waist, and switch sides. Right foot comes forward, supported low lunge this side, knee over the ankle, not going beyond. Lovely stretch into that left hip flexor. Squeezing everything into the midline. Navel up and in. On an inhale, rise up, low lunge. Palms together, exhale, the left elbow comes outside or as near to outside as possible of the right knee. Keep the gaze down, curl the back toes and float that knee up if you can. Twisted high lunge. If your knee is lifted, spike that back heel towards the back of the mat. Really lengthen that stretch. Exhale, look down, lower the back knee, hands to the waist, push through that front right heel, come back to kneeling. We're coming into gate pose with a variation. So pivot on the right knee so that the right shin is at right angles to your mat, so it's in line with the short edge. Place the right hand on the mat or on a block and extend that left leg out to the side with the toes pointing forward, but really make sure you've engaged those muscles. Rotate the chest to the sky and then extend your arm up and overhead, trying if you can to keep the gaze up. This is a variation on gate pose. We're really trying to work that left outer thigh and inner thigh. Exhale, gaze down, navel in. Come onto your fingertips with the right hand. Inhale, rise up to warrior two arms. The left heel now comes onto the floor with the toes upright. Exhale, almost as if you're doing a triangle. Let the left arm come down onto the left leg, right arm up. Do not put pressure onto that left knee. So you're hopefully feeling a lovely stretch in the left inner thigh as well as the outer right side of the body. Inhale, return to warrior two arms, and then carefully and mindfully come back down to tabletop. To switch to the other side, rotate the left knee to the back of the mat, so it's at right angle, and then the right leg is out to the side with the right toes pointing forward, really making sure that that tailbone stays tucked in, opening the chest, and then extend that right arm up overhead. Try and keep the weight going into the outer edge of the right foot. Exhale, look down. Navel in. On an inhale, rise up, warrior two arms. Then the heel comes into the mat or the floor with the right toes lifted to the sky, foot flexed. Exhale, right arm comes down onto the right leg, left arm up. Gate pose. Breathing here. Exhale, return back to the warrior two arms, and then with care, come back down to tabletop. I'm just moving my blocks out the way. Rise back up to kneeling, step the left foot forward, rise up to standing, mountain pose at the top of the mat. I'm turning round just so you can see me. We're coming into eagle arms and eagle legs. Arms out in front, bend at 90 degrees. Bring the left elbow under the right elbow, and you can either hold on to your shoulder blades or you can bind a second time, really pressing the palms together. Elbows up, shoulders down. And if you want to, if you feel steady, lift the left leg, cross it over the right leg as you sink into the knee, sitting back a bit. And if you can, and I can't, wrap your left toes around the back of your right calf. I can't do that bit. It's a real challenging pose, this. Do not worry if you fall out of it. On an exhale, rise back up, and then unravel the arms, rotate the shoulders. And let's try on the other side. Arms out in front, bend the elbows, bring the right elbow under the left, either holding on to the shoulder blades or binding a second time. Elbows up, shoulders down. Then lift your right leg, cross it over your left leg, sinking down as if you're sort of sitting back behind, and you might be able to wrap your right foot behind your left calf. Don't worry if you can't. Try and keep the navel up and in to keep the lower spine protected. Keep your focus on something that isn't moving. Exhale, stand, uncross the legs, and then unravel the arms and give them a wiggle. Challenging pose, little bit of fun. We're coming into a wide-legged forward fold, so I'm getting my blocks ready. I need the space, I need the floor to be up higher for me at the moment. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, folding from the hips, not the lumbar spine. Bring your hands either onto your blocks or onto the floor, keeping that lumbar spine flat or in its natural curve, not rounding. Try and keep the weight in the outer edges of the feet. And if you're using blocks, take your time and see if you can create a bit more space and bring your blocks lower. Once you've found where you want to be, breathe, enjoy the stretch, bring the left hand to the middle of the floor or the blocks, inhale the right arm up, twisted wide-legged forward fold. Only go as far as your arm wants to go. Exhale, bring the left arm down, inhale the right arm up. Breathing here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring the hand back down. Come onto your fingertips on an inhale, gaze up. Exhale, slight bend in the knees, hands to the waist, tuck the chin. On an inhale, keeping that lovely flat back, rise up, your thighs do the work. Beautiful. Heel toe your feet in together. So you've got the heels in and the toes coming out, hands to heart center, lower down into Malasana, deep yogic squat. If you want to, you can pop a block underneath so you can sit onto the block. Hands to heart center, keeping the knees going out, breathing here. Or if it's in your practice, you can squat all the way down. On an inhale, carefully rise back up to standing. Turn the right toes to the top of the mat, and then mountain pose. Now coming back down onto the mat for a seated Gomukhasana, cow face, arms and legs. Bring the left heel in towards the right buttock with the knee pointing straight forward. Then the other foot can either be in front of the knee or flat and across the knee, or if you can, stack your knees. Don't worry if you can't do that yet. Inhale the right arm up and bring it down the back of the back, and then bring the left hand up from the bottom of the back to see if your hands can meet. If your hands can't meet, grab onto clothing. Breathing here, sitting up tall through the center channel. So we've got a lovely hip opener, and we've got internal and external rotation for the shoulder. Carefully release the arms, rotate the shoulders, unravel the legs, bring the feet flat in front, knees bent, lean back, and then just swish your knees one side and then the other. And let's repeat on the other side. Bring the right heel in towards the left buttock, knee coming straight down in front, left foot flat to the floor, either in front of the knee or across the knee, or if you can, stack the knees. Go as far as you can go. No need to go any further than where your body wants to be. Inhale the left arm up and bring that left hand down the back, and then the right hand swims around behind, fingers come up the back, see if they can clasp or grab onto clothing. Again, tall through the center channel, navel up and in, find your breath. On your next exhale, carefully unravel, rotate your shoulders, carefully unravel the legs, and do a little windshield wipe again. That should feel nice. If you're on a block, come off of the block, coming down onto our backs, knees bent. Come into reclined pigeon, cross the right ankle over the left knee, push that, make sure your right foot is flexed, push that right knee away with your right hand, and if you need more of a stretch, you should hopefully be feeling something in your outer right hip. Navel in, lift up that left shin so it's parallel to the ceiling, grab on behind the left thigh with your hands, both feet flexed, pulling that left knee in towards you. A lovely stretch in the left glute. Breathing deep, send the breath to where you feel the stretch the most. On an exhale, navel in, lower that left foot down. Grab your block if you need to. We're coming into an IT band stretch. Let the left knee come down, but we're keeping the same shape. So the right foot comes to a block or to the floor, and you push that right knee away. Now if you're on the floor with the right foot, see if you can grab hold of the ankle with your left hand and pull the ankle so it's in line with the knee, keeping that knee pushing away. The IT band is a long ligament on the outside of the hip to the outside of the knee, and you could feel the stretch here anywhere between those places. Runners and walkers, this particular ligament can get very tight. Breathing here. Exhale the navel in. On an inhale, keeping the same shape, you can use your hand to help you bring your left thigh up, return to center, uncross that right leg, straighten it out, give it a wiggle. That'll feel nice. Then bend back into that right knee, cross the left ankle over, the right knee, left foot flexed, push that left knee away, and if you need more of a stretch, make sure that navel's into your spine as you lift the right shin parallel to the sky, both feet flexed. Grabbing on behind that right thigh and pulling that knee in. And breathe. Exhale, navel in, lower that right foot down. Keep the same shape with the legs and let the right knee come down onto the floor or the mat, so you're onto the outer edge of the right foot. Your left foot's either going onto a block or directly onto the floor. And you're either pushing the left knee away with your left hand or grabbing the left ankle with your right hand and bringing the ankle under the knee. The important bit is that the knee is in line with the ankle. Breathing here. Exhale, navel in, belly to the spine. Inhale, keeping the same shape, bring your knees back up. You can use your hand to help you lift that thigh, uncross the left leg, extend it, give it a wiggle. We're coming into bridge, feet parallel, hip width apart. Might just be able to brush the back of the heels with your fingers. Navel imprinted against the spine. On an inhale, lift the tailbone, lower back, mid back, squeezing those glutes. If you want, clasp your hands together underneath the tailbone, wiggle your shoulders, shoulder blades underneath so you can really push those hips high. You're pushing onto those forearms and hands to lift you higher. Chest to chin, chin to sky. If you're feeling a tremble, that's great. Really squeeze those glutes. On an exhale, palms flat, come down one vertebrae at a time with care. Once your spine is imprinted on the mat, let your knees drop to the right and then to the left. Just to have a reset. Take your time, there's no rush. Bring one knee in, followed by the other, and have a little roll around side to side, massaging that lumbar spine. Bring the feet back down. Have your block to hand. Prepare just like we did for bridge. Navel in. On an inhale, lift your tailbone just high enough so you can slide your block on its lowest level under your sacrum. Let the sacrum rest back down. Coming into legs up the wall but without a wall. Bend the knees and then extend the legs up. Start with the legs together. It's a lovely hamstring stretch, and then see how it feels to let the legs widen, come apart. Lovely stretch on the inner thighs. Gravity is doing the work here. Breathing here. Great for restoring energy levels, this pose. Bring the legs back together if they're still apart for the last few breaths. Exhale, bend the knees, then inhale, navel into the spine as we bring one foot and then the other down onto the mat, knees bent. Engage the glutes. With just as much care as before, lift the hips, remove the block, come down one vertebrae at a time. Bring the knees in again to the chest. This time, big toes together. Pull the knees apart and towards your armpits. Half happy baby. You want to keep the entire spine, the tailbone flat to the mat. If it's in your practice to extend into a full happy baby, then please do, but make sure that your tailbone does not lift off the mat. If it lifts off the mat, come back to the half happy baby. Bring the knees back together. Bring one foot down, followed by the other. Let's prepare for our laying spinal twist. Shift the hips over to the right, feet together, and let your knees lower to the left, either all the way to the floor or onto a block. The right shoulder should be firmly imprinted on the mat. Arms either straight out to the side or with a 90-degree bend, so you get a lovely stretch across the pecs, across the chest. Find your breath again. Deep belly breaths. On your next exhale, navel into the spine. Inhale the right knee up, followed by the left. Carefully move your hips over to the left of the mat slightly, and then lower the knees to the right. Again, either straight onto the floor or onto a block. It can be nice to put the block between the knees if you're finding your knees aren't together, and arms either out to the side or cactus arms. Deep belly breaths. Great for the digestion and great for the lumbar spine. On your next exhale, navel in. Inhale the left knee up, followed by the right. Recenter your hips on the mat and then extend the legs long, as wide as the mat. Let the feet drop out to the side. Arms to the side with the palms up. Shavasana. Let the breathing be normal here. Time for the body to integrate all the work it has done. And time for the mind to have a rest. If thoughts start popping into your head, try to be the watcher of them. Try to imagine you're on a riverbank and the thoughts of the river flowing by. Let them pass by, don't engage with them. Start to bring some movement into your fingers and toes. Rotate your wrists and ankles. Move your head from side to side if that feels nice. Stretch up overhead. Oh, lovely, lovely stretch. Bend into the knees so the feet are flat to the mat. Roll onto one side. Pause here for a moment. Then rise up to any seated position that's comfortable for you. Bring the arms up together overhead. Palms down to heart center, bringing all that wonderful spring energy into us. Bow your head to your hand, thanking yourself for taking this time to nurture your body. Namaste. I hope you have enjoyed this Yoga for Spring Equinox. Give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and if you haven't already done so, please do click the subscribe button. Help support free yoga on the internet. Thank you so much for watching.